Grand Finals, so stay on the stream for that after this match is done. But here we are, we're jumping into map number 2 between CYPHER and Evil for this Grand Final. We're on Cure, and we begin with Evil as he gets the LG spawn. Does hear CYPHER grabbing some shards there, so getting a lot of information. And it's about this next red, really. And Evil having that LG first should allow him to have better position for red. And he gets a great prediction on how CYPHER wants to attack into red. That is so, so key. This could just shut CYPHER out of control and happily secure Evil with control in the opening moment secure here. If he gets a little bit of follow-up damage, Mega spawning, he's going to leave it up. He knows the yellow's coming as well. What is CYPHER going to choose, though? Looks like CYPHER was just waiting to see to wait for Evil to make his move. Wait for Evil to commit before he did. Very, very smart. And here's CYPHER there, picking up that red armor. Evil trying to be a bit too fancy there, and kind of bit him in the backside as he gave away a major item. And it seems as if Evil is kind of hurting for this yellow now. Really needs this. And there goes CYPHER darting on above him. Cannot really hang around the yellow position too much longer. It's pretty exposed. And Mega and red are much more important. CYPHER going to grab that one. Evil about a second too slow there. And here goes CYPHER, but the perfect LG defense from Evil really helps massively, pushing CYPHER all the way back. And the stacks should be relatively even after the pickup of the yellow there. Evil should have a more defensive posture here. I'm not sure how he's going to want to attack into this red armor. It's going to be quite hard to deal with. Here goes CYPHER with a drop there. Evil's got to be careful. He hasn't got the stack to really drop here unless he gets a really, really good bit of damage. And CYPHER actually backs away, allowing him onto that red armor. And this is going to mean that CYPHER's going to have to play for the Mega, and he does. And again, he was just a tiny bit too slow to capitalize on the bad position of CYPHER at the Mega. So very close game so far. Red is coming up, and here comes CYPHER right from the yellow area. So Evil, you know, he's really playing it, so he's giving CYPHER a lot of respect here, and just in a lot of situations kind of letting CYPHER make a move. And 2.5 minutes gone. We're no closer to really seeing who's in the lead here. They're keeping it close. And there are some footsteps. They were around the top level, it seems. And Evil's going to be able to secure this red. A free red like that can kind of indicate that CYPHER feels quite weak at the moment. At least weak on position. You can hear him darting away there. CYPHER should have a pretty good stack behind him. And if we switch to CYPHER, actually, yeah, he's not doing so well. He is indeed quite weak. And CYPHER is very good from these kinds of positions, but it's a very fragile position. There's no mistaking it. A pickup like that, though, that does help out massively. 200 armor. Will CYPHER be thinking about using this for an aggression? He knows he's got to be careful because he knows that Ewa does have an advantage. But he just has to find a CYPHER spot. One of those spots where he gets really sick value out of his engagement. And he's going to go for it with the rockets. Very, very good rockets to begin with. He's got to be careful, though. He's getting weak. There goes the rail for Evil, but CYPHER does duck around the corner just in time to evade. Still 0-0. And there goes Evil for the Mega. And CYPHER felt committed to pressure. He's feeling that Evil's position was so terrible, but he just didn't have the stack for it. And he does go down. The first big mistake from either player is costing the frag, giving Evil the lead. So Evil now hearing the footsteps again. Oh, great rail there. So good. And Evil again, he's just playing it slow. He really is playing it slow right now. So much respect for CYPHER. He knows that if he doesn't move in a very specific way, he can get caught in bad spots with very, very efficient damage dealt by CYPHER. That's what CYPHER kind of counts on a lot of the time. He wants you to move in spots like this, where he can really abuse a position with the LG, typically, or the rockets, to get really sick damage and then duck away without receiving any himself. So you can see Evil's actively trying to avoid those spots, very, very much so. And CYPHER's having a hard time getting to grips with that. And here goes Evil. Sees CYPHER committing for the red. There's no escape here. No escape at all. But a lot of damage dealt by CYPHER. And that's crazy that he managed to get away alive. And Evil sticking to the rockets throughout the duration of the fight. And the LG is pretty good over there, and nasty bit of an engagement. Oh, and CYPHER goes for the double back. Evil was afraid that he was going to go straight for the Mega, but there you go. I mean, a bit of a misstep for Evil not to just count himself lucky, go straight for the red, play it safe. And CYPHER now back in the game, and he's back in the game strong. Hits a rail long distance over at the LG. Waiting for Evil to turn the corner, but it's going to be CYPHER that moves forward first. And here you go, pulling out the LG. Oh, misses the shot with the rail. And that was an important shot to hit. I mean, look at this. Evil would have died. Wouldn't have gotten this red. Evil stands a strong chance to get this next mega health now, though. And with that, he might find a frag. Just waiting now patiently again. Where is CYPHER going to appear? Leaving that mega health up. There he hears him. But CYPHER hears him as well. And going for that red armor. Evil can fall back onto the Mega. And oh, he doesn't have to. That last rocket was amazing. Hits CYPHER straight in the head. And that's going to be 2-1 now. Evil scoring the second frag in the 6th minute. Going to be able to pick up that Mega health. And he's in a very, very good shape right now. He is looking fine. Fine and dandy as CYPHER gets pushed away out of the red armor spot. And Evil is looking very strong at the moment. CYPHER missing a rail there. And that position can cost you a lot of time. It takes quite a long time to get anywhere from that position. So Evil can make inferences on that onto CYPHER's where he could be and when. But CYPHER went all the way around through the yellow, back towards that mega health area. Does get the pickup, and without being able to pressure at all, Evil, he is feeling still pretty okay with this red situation. Problem is that with 3 minutes left, his lead is very fragile, and CYPHER keeps getting better position. CYPHER has a better position again here. Evil's feeling quite good about this. Oh, nasty rocket received there. Good play from CYPHER, pushing Evil into the corner. Evil's got to dodge his way out of that one. Oh, and he barely manages to do so. How does he find the kill as well? CYPHER trying to edge his way out into the shot, but he did so into the rocket of Evil. Such good placement from the Russian. CYPHER now, he's in a lot of trouble. Evil going to pick up the next yellow armor. And if he has a good engagement here over at the red, without many problems, this is going to start snowballing here for CYPHER. But there you go, very good defense there. The grenades from Evil was a nice idea, but the rail really was a huge stop. And here we go, the commitment onto the mega health. It is so far away. This is such a huge mistime for Evil. This could be a game-costing situation because it gave CYPHER a free frag. And CYPHER has got to have a grin ear to ear at the moment when he saw a misplay like that from his opponent. This could be the difference. 3 seconds for the red. CYPHER's going to drop on it. No challenge really from Evil. He even takes a rail. CYPHER's 200. He's got 90 seconds left to tie up the game. This should be so simple for CYPHER. Here he goes, around the top level. Does spot his opponent, but just unable to catch him in time. Just trying to play it slow right now. He knows how weak Evil is. And that's some great defensive damage. But what a rail in return. Looking for the pixel. Can't find it. Again, looking for the pixel. Misses the shot. Evil connects himself, though. But the damage doesn't help him that much. Look how stacked CYPHER is. After picking up that mega, he is running like a tank at the moment. Gets the yellow as well. And this is really dangerous for Evil, because if he loses a frag, even if there's overtime, he's likely lost the game. He's given up the entire map to survive. He's given up everything to protect this one frag. He's got to keep doing that successfully for 40 seconds. Here comes CYPHER. This is really close. Can CYPHER hit the shot? He does, but still he needs one more. Can he hit the next rail? He's looking for the shot, darting around the corners. Where is Evil even gone? Through the teleporter he goes, back onto the yellow. There he spots and misses the shot, trying to turn the corner quickly enough to catch Evil with another shot, just turning Every single corner hits another rail. How is Evil still alive? Rockets are great, but there is the rail frag. And 10 seconds left. And Evil gets the rockets. CYPHER's so weak, he might even be able to make the frag, but no. Has to back away. Really hard with the rockets there. But CYPHER still has all of his weapons, but that was a really nice rocket. 3-3. We're into overtime, and this is so tight. All because of that rocket play from Evil. It was so sublime. And at this point now, CYPHER has to feel like he needs to stabilize. They both want to play this a bit more slowly now. Here is Evil coming in from above. Let's check out his POV. We can see he's actually hurting massively for armor here. He's in a very weak position. This could very well be CYPHER's moment on Cure. Last rocket shot there. He needs to replenish that. There you go. Just 50 armor. Evil has to play so defensively right now. It's just unreal. He cannot take a single lick of damage. Nothing can be received. Any bit of damage received until he gets to kind of a critical mass of around 150 could basically cost him massively. You can't get the time back that you lose when you take the damage. And again, the misstime on the Mega. What's happening to Evil? This is, again, I can't believe this is happening a second time in the same map. A player of this caliber, CYPHER just leaves him there. It's like, all right, whatever, I'll take everything that's spawning. And there finally it does spawn. I cannot even believe he survived that. And CYPHER maybe feeling sorry for him making a mistime a second time in a row. And again, what is Evil doing? He's late for the red. He's completely, all of his item times in his head completely offset. He has no idea when anything spawns except Mega now. This is typically one of the most scary situations for a dueler. This is one of the feelings that makes you feel the worst when you're playing a competitive duel and you realize you just mistimed every item, because what that means is every assumption you had about stacks, every assumption you had about control was wrong. And here he's going to find a very nice engagement. He might be able to turn this into something good, but he won't be able to. He loses the lead right before the end of the overtime. And that was a situation where Evil was like, this fight is just too good to be true. Problem is that he didn't have the stack to do it.